So let's have a quick look at div and span. So after this presentation, you'll have an appreciation of the role of div and how it could be used, and the same thing for span. So we're just focused on those two elements, and we look at them using a few style properties. So div has no particular style, and it has no particular meaning. So HTML developers can use it for almost any purpose that they like, and it is commonly used by some particular JavaScript libraries. So let's understand div a little bit. So we have some HTML, we have a paragraph, div, paragraph, div. The second div down here has a particular style. I've kept the paragraphs in simply so that they can be used as a comparison. That's the result, paragraph div, paragraph div. This div has really no visual difference to the paragraphs above it and below it. And that's basically what happens. There is no different style unless you apply a style. Okay, such as here. Here we have our second div and it has a style applied. So yes, we can see very much it has a different style. So let's strengthen that idea. Let's add a few more style attributes to the first div and a few more to the second div, basically just playing around, changing size, changing font, changing background color, just for exploration. So we get a result like this, paragraph div, and it's just basically playing around with style. All right, now, one interesting thing about the div and also other elements as well, such as image, is you can position them, and sometimes that's useful. So let's look at that by applying it to div. So the way to position an element is to add position absolute together with the top left corner position. Okay, top and left control the top left corner position of the div if you're changing the div position. All right, so for example, if you said top 0, left 0, together with position absolute, that would fix your element, such as a div, so that it is right in the top left corner of the web page. So a couple of examples. Here we've added position absolute, and then we fix the top left corner, use top left, and same thing down here. Second example, position absolute, fix the top left corner. So the first one is go down 60 pixels and go to the right 60 pixels. And so we can see that go down 60 pixels, go to the right 60 pixels. That is the top left corner of the first div. And the second div, something similar, go down 92 pixels, go to the right 80 pixels. And so 92 pixels, 80 pixels. So you can set the position of divs and other things as well in this way. Another thing you can do is relative position. And that fixes the position relative to the position it would have been shown if you hadn't changed things. So here's a simple example. Relative position change, basically adjusting the position. Go up 20 pixels, go left 20 pixels. So there's the result. Here's my div, and I've said go up 20 pixels, which is why we can't see all of the paragraph text. That's why I included a paragraph, so we could see that it goes above the paragraph. And also, it went left, and you can see there is a missing T, because it's gone off the web page. It's gone too far left, because that's what I told it to do. All right, that's our quick look at div. What about span? So span is quite similar. Span has no particular style, no particular meaning, but the difference is you would use it for a few words. So an example, here's a span, but there's no style being used. There's 3 words inside the span. Those same 3 words are being used here together with some style. What's the visual result? Looks like this. There's our first span, and it looks exactly the same as all the other text because that's what happens. It doesn't have any default style. But in our second example, I've applied some kind of style, changed the background, and you can see it kind of is definitely different to the text on the left and the right. Okay, so you would use span in this kind of situation, not for a big paragraph, but for when you just have a few words where you want to apply a style. So that's the end of our quick discussion about div and span.